guys, today I'm going to be explaining how to adjust and set properly a one-size-fits-most. And this is something that I recently started to do, and sorry that there's so much cord here. This is not how it actually is. This is just how this one ended up, and it's going to be trimmed, but I just want to do this while I still have a lot of cord to show you guys how to adjust any of my one-size-fits-most bracelets, and I'm going to be selling a few of these. I'm not sure exactly how many I'm going to do like this. And really quickly to explain the difference between this knot and loop that one size fits most and a normal knot and loop from me or anyone else is this is what a normal knot and loop looks like. You can see there's very little room there, and ultimately you'll be able to get the one size fits most to that point, but the one size fits most measurement is generally to help set the bracelet for you and to get your exact wrist circumference. So like I said, you can see with a normal knot and loop, there's no room there at the end. You can see this is what it looks like on a one size fits most. There's lots of room here, and of course this will be trimmed down so there's a little bit less, but there will be room for you to adjust the bracelet to get the absolute proper fit. Whereas this, I would need to know the wrist size and have it sized exactly to the wrist. That difference out of the way, now to get to how to adjust the one size fits most. This is just a normal diamond knot here, but what makes diamond knots awesome is this adjustability factor. So how you're going to adjust this is you're going to want to get the bracelet, and you're going to want to actually measure it on your wrist to see how much you need. Sorry if you can't see that well. But you're going to want to measure it to see how much you need. This is actually where this actually fits my wrist perfectly at this point, but you would want to get the bracelet or understand where you need the bracelet for fitment. And generally on a one size fits most, I put the knot right around the middle so that there's average, or so you can move it closer or further. Get that custom sizing to your wrist and understand you would need to move the knot. So I'm going to go over both forward and backward adjustments. Since this is already so close, I'm not really going to be able to move it forward. So saying it's too small or you need to move it out, you're going to want to grab these two top pieces right here. So this weave, and when you have the bracelet you'll actually be able to see these more clearly, but this one and this one that I've actually already grabbed, you can see actually move this amount of cord. They actually move it, and I'm not sure if you'll be able to see here. I'll try and show it. You guys can see how it's moving, and you can see up here how that's gaining in size. So I'm going to move this out just a little bit, just for dramatization essentially, so you can actually see that it is doing something. So there is about probably 2 inches, maybe more than that. I might close this down a little bit. And then you'll pretty much just want to work it through. With the diamond knot, you can pretty much just see where the cord goes, and you'll just want to move it through the different layers until it works itself out, and I'll show you what I mean. Now, being that this is once the bracelet has been made, whatever you do to one side, you will have to do to the other side, and it's important to note. So if you want to move this an inch back or 2 inches back, you'll have to move 2 inches on both sides. And so now, when it's so close like this, it's going to be a little bit tough to do because the other side of this knot is not going to move, and you will have to move one side at a time. But you can see there, I've moved that much out, and now to take about the same from this side. Sorry, the other side. So once again, finding that, and just beginning to take it, and the easiest way to measure to make sure you're taking the same amount, you can just work this all the way through and you can figure it out, or I always cut these equal, and so if you want to pull one to the equal, if say this one's higher up like this, you keep pulling until they get equal like that. That's an easy way to do it, or you can just roughly guesstimate how much you have here. Either way, it'll work pretty fine. You will know if you've done it wrong because you'll have a misaligned. For you guys, now I'm just going to move this and show you guys what it looks like. You guys can see, I've moved it out, and of course this is a ridiculous length. I just wanted to show it. And so you'll just want to work both sides and just tighten it down, make sure everything's nice, and that's how you'll get your fit. And that's how you move it backwards. Of course, moving it forward is essentially the same step. Moving it forward can be a little bit easier because with the moving it backwards, it's kind of like a rough estimation of how much you think it needs to go, whereas when you move it forward, you're actually physically taking this length down so that you can get it more exact. And I'll show you guys what I mean. So this cord, if you want to take away from this cord, or to take from here, we look at the top, and to take from here, you look at the bottom. And once again, if you're really confused, you can just look at this cord, and you can kind of see how it comes down to this point, and then you just start to pull at it. These knots are pretty tight, so this isn't going to necessarily at first easily move, but once you get it going, it will move a little bit easier. So sorry about that quick adjustment of light, but yes, you guys can see you would just move it down to the point, and once again, like I was saying, whatever you do to one side, you will have to do to the other side. So once again, moving it to about the center point between where I had it and I think where I'm going to cut it is right about here, and so that is pretty much the adjustment of them. So once again, when moving this side, or moving the knot down, you will work this cord all the way through and it'll work back out into this side. So there you guys go. That is how you use or move this one size fits most knot and loop. You can eventually, and what I recommend is once you have the bracelet properly sized to you and everything feels comfortable, to go ahead and snip the excess if there is any. Snip the excess and just snip and singe. You don't really have to singe the end, but it is recommended. One thing that is different here than what will be in the one size fits most knots is that at the end I fuse both sides together, and so that pretty much prevents you from pulling the knot all the way through, or in either one of these sides all the way through, which would effectively take away from the knot or undo the knot, which is something that you would not want to do. But if you do break them, or if they're loose like this, just be careful not to pull one side through, because that can undo the entire knot. And generally when you have that little cord, you won't really be able to redo a diamond knot just because they take up so much cord. So definitely do be careful of that. Sorry about all this sun. Anyways guys, that is pretty much the diamond knot. I'm really loving this Bane scuff too. This thing came out really amazing. I'm going to see if I can actually get this to focus. I really love how this came out. This thing freaking came out amazing. Anyways guys, this is up for sale as well, unfortunately. I really like this coloration. It came out really nicely. But that is essentially the tutorial for how to use these one size fits most knot loops, and I'm out.